master has returned.
Hey, everybody. I am back tonight, or this morning. So I'm starting early, obviously. I'm starting a little bit early because I need to get going pretty soon at around 1-ish. So I'm just starting a little bit early today. Just got to tweet the stream out. Well, I tweeted it out, but I want to share it with the peeps. So just got to do that real quick. Obviously, yesterday, if you guys haven't catched it, I was on Mara's channel last night when we were doing Talk Nerdy to Us. Had a lot of fun. So just wanted to plug that. All right, send to the chat. So yeah, I just want to get this started really. Just want to start a little bit early just so we can get a bit more done today. So obviously for this, we're doing Talia Ghul. We're continuing the Batman villains, and yeah. So it's obviously Nanda Parbat or whatever, and she's in like a kind of a, I guess in kind of her room or whatever, a part of the palace or something. And obviously we have Batman in the reflection because I kind of felt like this was a bit too bland, too boring. So I felt like, let's add something to make it a little bit more interesting, as well as the background. So we're starting the skin now. I'm starting with a light sort of yellow because there's gonna be going for kind of like a sunset background. So I kind of want to have a little bit of a yellow, like kind of shining onto her skin just a little bit. And just a little bit on the hair. And there should be some on the top here. Okay. Coming in with a YR000 just to kind of make a natural sort of blend to the skin. Which I think I'll add some to Batman there because I think that'd be because the sunset would be shining on him. So. Obviously, this one was requested by Riot Kitty when I did my when I was going around the horn to ask some of my buddies who I should draw for which were the Batman villains they wanted to see me draw. So shout out to Riot Kitty for suggesting this, which I actually really wanted to draw. Actually, been wanting to draw Talia al Ghul for a little while now. So it's kind of cool. Okay, now let's add some skin tones. Pull out the E000 or 00. Oh, that's her arm. Gotcha. I was confusing myself. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to get a refill for this one. I use this one a lot. My problem is I can't find this one where I can never find it when I at the store I go to. But since I'm going to be there nearby, I might just do it. But I don't know. It'll probably be busy there because of Christmas. I usually just like to wait until after Christmas to buy new stuff. Okay. And we'll add some to Batman. We'll probably add like a nice like shadow showing like onto her body here with some grays later. Most likely going to use warm grays. I think they'll be a better fit. Oh, yeah, it's oh, doesn't really make much of a difference. Okay. Now we're going to use the E01. For those who are interested in knowing which markers I am using, I'll try to announce which ones I'm using for different parts. So I think that's a very useful thing for people to know who are just getting into Copics. So. Hey, Grumpy. Yeah, I started early. I have to go to a family thing at around 1 o'clock. So, and it's like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock now. So, decided just to start early so I can get a lot more done, or as much done as I can. So yeah, working on Talia because of a request by Riot Kitty. I do agree. Cool of you to mention. Which, yeah, I try to make a note of it. I'm using E00 right now. Yeah, because I found that very useful in Todd Knock and Stanley Art Germ's videos that they would do on their channels and stuff. I thought that was a really useful thing. So really helped me a lot. So I think that if it helped me, it should help someone else. It should be able to help someone else. So. But honestly, when you start getting into your marketers, I think uh, you'll start to get a hang of it. You'll get to start with. But it's really good to have like someone else tell you, yeah, these colors are really well. These are the colors I use for the specific like area. Yeah. So, all right, let's blend it all together with E00. All right, and we'll need E02. Just add a bit of a darker shade because it's gonna be a kind of a sunset type of background here, so I kind of want that to and so she would have a bit more of a darker complexion here, or the light would kind of make it appear like that. So. Then just blend that in with E00. All right. And then we'll just blend that with another coat of E00. Okay. And we'll kind of do the same thing with Batman. Obviously, he would be affected by the the sunset too, because he's like right behind her. So just want to make sure you get. So he'd like more so, I think that. So I'll probably add a bit more like yellowy orange to him a little bit later as we go. Yeah, that should be good. I'll add a darker shade actually to her. Actually, I think I'll add like a light. No, we'll work on that later because I kind of want to add a little bit of makeup to her. Just a light, like sort of like reddish color for the eyelid or the I guess eyelid, whatever. Might add another shade of YR000 just to make it a little bit more yellowy. I don't know, it might be good the way it is though. All right. So yeah, Talia's kind of had a interesting history over the years. There's usually one of two ways most writers go about portraying the character. Either she's kind of a bit more noble, like in the animated series, or the Arkham games, like where she actually like genuinely cares about like Bruce and whatnot, and only really follows her father because she misguided. She doesn't really. Well, she believes he's doing the right thing, but she's also very reserved about it and stuff like that. But then there's the take where it's like in the more in the comics and more in the newer like DC animated films they made her kind of and in the Dark Knight Rises. She's a bit more of a villain. She's more selfishly motivated and whatnot. Hey Chris, how you doing, man? Yeah, I do have it planned. It's on my list. I just haven't really gotten into it yet, buddy. So, but we will. We will definitely. It's on the list. If it's on the list, it's gonna get drawn. It's how it works for me. So yeah, it is coming. Just it takes time. I have. Sometimes because I already have like a couple of projects in the works right now. I have some ideas. Sometimes like ideas like will come to my attention and become more take more priority. If something is, if I get more inspiration for a certain thing I'm drawing, I'll usually focus on that. which kind of pushes some other projects to the side for a bit. But yeah, I will definitely get to that one. So, ooh, Trace a voice kind of creating movie based on her Victoria Grace. Ooh, maybe. I'm not really too well versed on voice hunters, but yeah, you know, I'm not really. I don't know. I'm kind of after what they did with Cassandra Cain in the movie. I'm not really uh, keen on what DC has planned, though. I'm very, very indifferent at this point to whatever DC's doing. But in a perfect world, yeah, I'd really love to see Cassandra Cain done right in like a cartoon or something. Ray Sue voiced May in the Netflix series. Okay, well, I have to look her up because I kind of whenever I think of Cassandra Cain, I kind of think of someone who's very quiet, who has a very quiet uh, type of voice, you know, very low, or a little bit. I can see it being a little bit high, but not too. Hard to explain. Okay, I think that'll do it for the skin tone. Actually, no, we need to fix up Batman real quick first. Add a little bit more yellow to him because I'm kind of going for a sunset background here. Just trying to think about what I'm trying to think of an example of, what I think Cassandra Cain would sound like. Some, yeah. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head right now. It's way too early for that. But I'm sure there's a number of actresses that'd be great. Maybe Tara Strong. I could kind of see Tara Strong being Cassandra Cain. Something similar to like Raven, like a little bit. I could kind of see something like Raven, but a little bit more softer, if that makes sense. Or something like Tara from Teen Titans, but gotcha. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem, man. Happens all the time. Don't worry about it. All right, let's get that hair going. We're gonna start with, I like to use copper a lot on brown hair because it adds a bit of a almost an auburn sort of look to it. Kind of like a reddish look to it. I think that I really like. So, although I'm probably gonna start with something a little bit lighter for this one. Yeah, that should be good. Because there's gonna be a bit of a yellowy orange hue to her. Yeah, not really. Not really. She was mute for because she was mute. Okay, so she was mute when she first started out in No Man's Land, but then in Silent Night, she actually got her voice back fairly early on. Actually, she got it very early on. What most people would expect, or most people would have you to believe. In that storyline, she basically met like a psychic kid who basically uh, was having trouble like reading her mind, reading her thoughts, and so he saw that she was having trouble speaking and whatnot, and or having conversation and whatnot, and so he kind of fixed that a little bit. And but in doing so, it kind of hindered her ability to like read her opponent's movements. So it kind of so she like ended up trying to get her to be unfixed. She wanted to go back to being mute because it made her a better fighter and stuff like that. But she couldn't go back. She had to stick with it, and so she had to kind of learn how to fight all over again. And she kind of got some training from Lady Shiva later on in the book. So, or no, that was I think that was a lot more. Yeah, that was in the second volume of the trade paperback I got. So it should be collected in the what is it called? To the Death trade paperback of Cassandra Cain. So. But yeah, she did get her. She actually got her voice back fairly early on in her run. So yeah. Jamie Chung. I don't know who that is. But maybe. I'm not really well versed on actors and voice actors, so aside from like obviously the more popular ones. So oh, see, it's been forever. Yeah. I guess kind of confusing because they brought her back in the rebirth and whatnot. So, but yeah, she got her voice back pretty early on in Silent Night, or was it kind of? I think it might have been midway through that storyline. She got her voice back, but it wasn't but she wasn't like mute for a significant amount of time. Like it was, at least in terms of publication, obviously. Just dropped the pen. She voiced Death, and okay, I have not seen that one. Although I probably should. The DC Showcase ones were awesome. Like I love the Spectre one. I love the Green Arrow, the Shazam especially, or Captain Marvel, preferably call him Captain Marvel. Yeah, that one was fucking brilliant. 10 times better than the live action film. Just saying. As most DC animation is, it's always like better than the actual movies because they just I don't know what the studios are thinking. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I need to check that one out. There's like so many things I just have not seen before, so definitely gotta see that at some point. All right. I think we're gonna add a darker shade and another, maybe a lighter shade after. I think. Actually, add a little bit of a yellow to some areas here. No, that should be good for now. I'll probably add a bit more later. So I'm going to go for the more pink dress that she had in the animated series. So Greg Wiseman, he's done some great work over the years. He's done a really good job on Spectacular Spider-Man. I've heard Gargoyles is really good. I just never watched that. Just never got around to it. But Young Justice seasons 1 and 2 I liked, but then I'm not really a fan. But I wasn't really a big fan of season 3, and I haven't watched anything of season 4 as of yet. So. But I think he's a good writer, good showrunner for the most part. I would have liked to have seen him continue Spectacular Spider-Man, but really loved the first 2 seasons. He had a really clear and really precise understanding of who Spider-Man should be. You know, and he truly understood the character and his world and whatnot. Also paying homage to a lot of different comics and different movies and stuff. You watched the teaser for the Batman Fall of the Family. Okay. I might give it a try. I watched season 3. Yeah, I was very disappointed. They were kind of just focusing on characters I didn't give a fuck about, like the newer team or whatever. I was more interested in seeing the other cat, and I just didn't really think the story was that great. You know, it's just very, very boring. You know, focus way too much on the personal lives of the characters more so than the actual superhero aspect of them. Didn't really feel like the DC universe anymore. Like the first 2 seasons were good, but no, it felt more like a Marvel show. It felt like it was more Marvel because it felt like because it was more of like the world outside your window type approach to the characters and stuff like that, which is kind of how Marvel sort of approaches it, where they not that you can't obviously have like the personal lives in a DC story, but like but they focused on it a little too much. I feel like in that show. Uh, maybe Cassandra Cain. I don't really know a whole lot about Samurai Jack, but Cassandra Cain is very skilled fighter. She can predict her opponent's movements because she's able to read body language and stuff. Uh, and she's very tough. Like she has very high endurance rate. So she's beaten Lady Shiva multiple times, and Lady Shiva is like on like above Batman, like on Batman's level. They're all kind of on the same sort of level. She's trained by both Batman, Lady Shiva, and David Kane. So, yeah. So, but I don't know a whole lot about Samurai Jack. So, I've watched clips of them just in season 4, and I tried to fix the damage in season 3, but unfortunately, yeah, it's one of those things. I think I feel like some people you can't. There's just something you just cannot fix if you go too far in certain places. All right. Okay. No, I need more pink pens, I think. Nope, not using it. I need a slightly darker shade. Yeah, that should be good. Just need to add a slight shadow in certain areas. But another thing about Cassandra Cain is that she can actually, and she also knows she can actually tell this person's fighting prowess actually just by looking at their body movement and stuff. So she's really adept at fighting, and she knows her opponents better than they do. They know themselves most of the time, But again, I'm not really all that familiar with Samurai Jack, so I wouldn't know. So I'm not really too familiar with his fighting prowess as well. So. I don't know. I never really watched it. Never watched. This awesome. Okay, yeah, I might have to check that out. I think I might have seen it once before. I just can't remember for the life of me. So it might have been from a different show. I might be confusing two different things. That's a thing about that. I've not seen the death battle for that one, so I wouldn't know. Okay, yeah, so he's a really, yeah, I imagine so. Otherwise, you would never, if he wasn't a great martial artist, you would never pit him against Cassandra King, because she would whoop his ass if he wasn't. All right, let's add some blue to Batman now. The Batman side of things. It's going to start light to dark because of the yellow shine that's going through the room here. So okay. Although I do watch Death Battle a lot, I'm really looking forward to the day that they actually throw Cassandra Cain into a fight. One thing I absolutely dislike about season 4 and just is fuck's sake, what they do with her. So really, I'm very protective of that character. It's like one of my favorite characters of all time. So, especially after what they did to her in the fucking Birds of Shit movie. Fuck that movie. Fuck anyone who defends that movie because it's a piece of shit. It's like, no, you don't fuck with my favorite Batgirl of all time. kind of does it for the main sort of piece right now. Obviously, I'll go back in and add some shadows, but I'm going to start working on the sky for right now. So I got to grab my selected colors for that. Those guys here. And I got to erase my notes here. Hold on. All right. Kind of already did a little bit of testing earlier to see what I wanted. All right. Hold on. I need to look at my reference. Okay. Just adding some rays here. Okay. This guy deserves a better treatment, yeah. Ruined it for me. She's a master of unarmed combat, but they didn't. Oh, so she's like using weapons and stuff like that, or yeah, she never really. I mean, sometimes I think there might have been a time where she might have used a sword at one point, but most of the time she uses her bare fists. That's the whole thing about her. So she can beat someone up with just her hands. That's the whole thing. I mean, she's definitely trained in those weapons, probably, but yeah. But if they make her way too reliant on the weapons, then yeah, it's kind of not really her fighting style, you know. I mean, they're both good guys. They'd probably be friends, you know, or they're both good guys. So, I mean, and that's the thing with like most of these like death battles. Like some people like pit like Marvel and DC characters against each other. It's like, well, most of these characters would work together. Like Batman, Spider-Man, they would most likely team up. They have very similar views of the world. So it's just like the idea of them fighting one another, like maybe on the first time they meet, sure, but once they get to know each other, it's like, oh, okay, we're on the same page here. Yeah. All right, now let's just tighten up the line work here. I have not seen the Cobra Kai series. I'm not really into never really been into the Karate Kid movies. Never, you'll be surprised a lot of the things I've never seen that are very popular. You know, just haven't really had the time. I've had the time. I just haven't gone around to it. Okay, now let's just blend the orange with the yellow. So I might get a different shade. Maybe. Yeah. Sure, this one might be good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing it's really good. I'm hearing it's really good. So I'm glad that the Cobra Kai fan or the fans of that are enjoying it. So nice to see something that's actually respecting the fans nowadays. You know, because a lot of things nowadays don't really do that. A lot of them are more interested in preaching rather than telling a good story. Let's see, 150. Just gotta be very aware of the time. So a little bit of time crunch because I gotta get going in about an hour from now, or yeah, about an hour I gotta get going. So, but I should be able to get the background finished. Yeah, I should be able to finish the background, or at least the main sort of colors. Obviously, because I obviously do my touch-ups afterwards. That's why I've done all colors and stuff. So. Might not be able to do all the shadowing and stuff like that, though, like all the gray tones and whatnot. Okay. Now let's add another shade of the orange just to blend in. All right, let's add some more. Some of the violets. Actually, let's touch up the yellows just a bit. If you are unfamiliar with Van McGrath, I recommend you look her up online. Proper live action movie. Ooh, yeah, maybe. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really the most well educated on actors and whatnot, but I'm definitely down to check that out. Yeah, at some point, if I can remember. Let's add a little bit of yellow here. Okay, now let's add some pinks. Or not really pink, it's kind of a violety, reddish something, I don't know. I'll probably get a different shade though, yeah. Let's back it up just a little bit. I mean, we have a black Joker on Batwoman, enough said. Yeah, let's see what the Psycho's running. Yeah, honestly, I don't want any. Like at this point, I've kind of become very indifferent and very protective of these characters now, the way Hollywood is. So The less characters they butcher, the better. Yeah, I'd much rather see no version of the characters on screen than shitty versions of them. Yeah, I'm perfectly content with just keeping the original comic book version of the characters. Don't need not. I don't know. I kind of just I'm kind of just over the whole nostalgia or the novelty, I should say, of seeing my favorite characters on screen, because it's just like, cause that's not what's really going on. We're not really getting the characters that we love on screen, if we're being honest. I don't think this one's good. Let's try this guy. That might be a better one. Who do you think would win a fight? Don't know. I don't know a whole lot about Jonah Hex, or Samurai Jack, so I wouldn't be the guy to ask. Probably a better shade here. Bruce Timm, back when he did animated series, Family animated series and all that, he was great. But in recent days, he's a fucking weirdo. It's like, what the fuck was that Killing Joke movie? Or quote unquote Killing Joke movie. But him and Bruce Paul Dini did a lot of great work on the DC animated stuff for a long time. But nowadays, it's kind of I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, I mean, it's kind of like what's happened to most creators now. They've kind of just fallen into the same trap. It looks like the new Batman show is going to kind of follow in the same sort of footprints as in the way DC's been doing things. The same woke bullshit. So, hopefully, I'm wrong though. I actually do, because I would really, because part of me would really love to see Bruce Timm and all them come back for a Batman show or something, but I just don't think it'll be worth it in the end. My mouse could just fall. But even the DC animated in DC is, the DC animated stuff is really falling apart. Yeah. Oh, I love New Frontier. That one was so good. And Crisis on Two Earths was good. Yeah. I had some problems with the ending there, but yeah, that was a really solid movie. All right. Yeah. I could use this guy. But I don't know. The way things are now, I just don't want to see anymore. Like, I'm just done. Like, until the mindset changes, until they get back to what makes these characters, until they get back to what makes the DC universe special and whatnot. understand and get back to what people really love about these characters. I think until then, like I'm kind of just like done with the DC. I've watched Kunjo and it was all right. Just skip. Yeah, it was just really stupid. It was just so pointless. Took away from the story. Yeah, it was just basically just Bruce Timm living out his fantasy ship or whatever. It's just like no, no, thank you. I do not want Barbara Gordon and Batman together. It's just not. Doesn't work. It's like it's not the kind of relationship we're supposed to have. It's just stupid. It was stupid in the animated series. It did that for a little while. They kind of implied that they were dating for a bit, which did not like at all because that's Dick's girl. It's just kind of weird. It's like I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it just does not work at all. Yeah. Stuff. Get to the scene. Yeah, I mean it's pretty decent when you get to the actual like killing joke stuff in the movie, but a whole if you did, but like just kills your just kills like any sort of interest in the movie for me. I was just like, nope. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, I'm just so done with the changes to Wonder Woman as well, like with the New 52. And I'm doing even more bullshit in DC, which we kind of talked about with Wonder Woman, where they kind of made I think it's part of DC Bombshells stuff or whatever. Whereas how they made Supergirl and Wonder Woman kind of the gay, because apparently we don't have enough of those anymore. Or which not that there's any problem with gay characters. It's just like you shouldn't be turning characters who aren't gay into lesbians because we need to be more diverse. It's like, well, make new characters then, or use characters like Mr. Terrific who are, you know, who are gay and whatnot, but they're lazy, so they just decide, you know what, let's just, we're too lazy to come up with something new, so we'll just put this ideology into some already established characters and stuff, and that'll be just as good. It's like, no, it's not. It's stupid. Just makes you look lazy. It's too dark. Nope. Don't even get a star on turning. Yeah, my gosh. Yeah, Alan Scott, Iceman, whatever the fuck they're doing with Jean Grey and Cyclops and Wolverine. I was like, what the fuck's going on there? It's like Tim Drake. That fucking pissed me off so much. Yeah. But not like it's at the point where I just developed an indifferent sort of opinion or view of DC right now. Just do not care. Do not care anymore. Not worth supporting. Yeah, it was stupid because like Tim Drake's always been straight. He's always had romantic relationships with females. It's like what he's been with Stephanie Brown, Wonder Girl. I think they might have hinted at there being something between him and Cassandra Cain, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, he was with Tamara Fox. He was with Lynx. He was with a couple other girls in the books, like some of the. I think Darla was her name, or I'm not too sure. No, I don't think they were a couple, but she had. I think she had like a crush on Tim, but yeah, Tim's been with ladies over the years, and so it's just a stupid change to make. It's pointless. It's stupid. It's really just the writers just trying to pat themselves on the back, essentially. That's all it is. Because they don't really care about these things. Because if they really did, they would have made a new character that was of that demographic. But they don't, and they won't, because they're stupid and lazy. So that's what it all boils down to. There's more interested in preaching rather than actually than anything else. All right. I spoken on New 52 anything, and I hate it all. Exactly. Sorry, man. Yeah, I think Rose had a thing for him too, in the old Teen Titans books as well. And there was a part where she almost like had sex with him because she was like drunk and shit. So. Actually, wouldn't mind actually Tim and Cassandra Cain getting together. I thought that would be an interesting couple, interesting pairing, but I always kind of fall back on Stephanie Brown and Tim Drake. So, but I wouldn't be opposed to them exploring Tim and Cass a little bit because they have a really good chemistry, good friendship. But that maybe could blossom into something else if they choose to. But so little. All right, I think that kind of does it for the sky. We're going to move on to the mountain here. So, I'm going to start with some browns. Very light browns. And some beiges, I think that'll. Yeah. Now we can blend the rays in a bit better. Ooh, and I should probably. Yeah, I was always more of a Stephanie Brown, Tim Drake fan, but him and Kat wouldn't be completely out of the question. I think that they make a fairly decent couple if they went that route in pre-52, not new 52 bullshit. But yeah. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, that was something. Never really. I don't think I've ever read the crossovers, but some of it I mean, I've seen some panels from it, but because I cannot find the actual crossovers where in the comic shops where I live, because they're probably very hard to find. You know, they're probably you know, the high end stuff. So there's a bunch of shit I cannot find where I live, even though it's a very big city with a bunch of comic book stores. I cannot find any of the good shit. So, like it's really hard to find like the older like IDW Transformers books and stuff. Like I usually have to go online for those. Like I got the All Hell Megatron series, and I got the Megatron Origins that way. Yeah. Yeah. Although I think Cassandra Cain might have dated Superboy for a little while, but didn't really go anywhere. Like, I don't think I can't remember if she had any romantic partners. Because she's kind of someone who's like kind of like Batman, where she's very like wholly committed to the mission, you know. So that's kind of probably why they haven't really explored her romantic interest as much. And that's kind of been part of her character, is that she's very much like very withdrawn from having human connections and stuff like that, or having a social life, because she's very committed to being Batgirl and stuff like that. I just remember this one part that was kind of funny in one of the books where Batman actually tells Superman to tell his boy Superboy to lay off Batgirl. Like he's acting like a kind of like a protective father to her. That's kind of funny. Although I don't really think Batman would be really against that. But that's just me. It was kind of a funny scene though. He's like, get Superboy away from my fucking girl. It's like, okay. Bat Dad. No clue, because I did not follow the New 52 after all the stuff they were doing with a lot of the characters, so I have no idea. They probably ruined him just because that's DC's motto nowadays, but it would not surprise me. Batgirl and Superboy, maybe it could have worked, possibly. But I always kind of prefer Superboy with Wonder Girl, so I thought they made a better couple. Maybe. And this brown's dying on me. Times 12, 16. So we got about 45 minutes to go. Then we're going to start wrapping it up because I got to get going soon. Ooh, maybe. Okay. Okay. I think maybe this guy. Which I'll probably add some extra bits of yellow just to tighten up the rays a bit. I still hate everything. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I could really get into was like the Green Lantern stuff and some of the Batman books, but even the Green Lantern books, I still had a lot of problems. Like, I didn't like that they were pairing Carol with Kyle Rayner. I was like, no, that's Hal's girl. Leave him alone. It's like, you know, it would be like if they put fucking Bruce Wayne with Lois Lane. It's like, no, that's Clark. Or when they had Superman get with Wonder Woman. It's like, no, Superman is supposed to be with Lois, and Diana is supposed to be with Steve Trevor. That's how it's supposed to be. Get over it, DC. Stop trying to change things that don't need to be changed. You know, it's like Peter Parker and Mary Jane. It's like, look, you can have Gwen Stacy, you know, you can have Peter date Gwen Stacy or Black Cat every now and then, but you know, he has to end up with, by the end of it, he has to end up with Mary Jane. That's how it always should work. It's the way things are. So deal with it. Sort two seasons we got all those. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I heard about the Legion of Superheroes cartoon. I heard it was pretty good. I just never really got into it, but I might give it a shot one day. Like I said, there's a lot of things I have not seen, so I have not had the time for it, or I never really grew up with it, or something. So. Need some reference. Okay. So I gotta start darkening some areas here because of the reference I'm using for the sunset. It's telling me get darker away. The further you get away from the mountains should be a lot darker. So I'll probably just use my warm grays for that. Okay. Your favorite character from the Legion of Superheroes? I was not really a Legion of Superheroes fan, but I guess Superboy seems like the easier answer. But was never really into the Legion of Superheroes. So. this pen's dying on me. Not so sure if I'll be able to get to the rim of the window here or whatever. Might just be able to finish the mountains, but probably not going to do the rest. Just gotta get going. All right, I'll use a darker shade here. Actually, I think 3 would be good here. Gotcha. Bring at 13. Nice. Yeah, only stuff I know about the Legion of Superheroes was from the animated series, like Superman animated series, and the when they brought them in for the Justice League cartoon, where they had Supergirl team up with them for a bit. And I think she ended up leaving. So, yeah. I need darker shade. Lightning Lad, yeah, Siren Girl. Yeah. I would love to see a motion concert. Ooh, yeah, maybe. That'd be kind of cool, actually, if they did a motion comic of the Batgirl run. I actually really like the motion comic for the. I think someone did like the Killing Joke one. I really love that one. And I think someone did the Nightfall comic, which was really cool. Favorite graphic novel? Probably Nightfall. I really like Nightfall as a storyline. I also think that War Games is pretty good. I really like that storyline. Some people didn't really like it, but I actually really like that storyline. I thought it was good anyways, but also really, I really love the Batgirl run, the Cassandra Cain Batgirl stuff. It was really up until a point where they kind of did some weird stuff with her. That's kind of when they got a new writer and stuff like that, who didn't really know a whole lot about the character. So they got a lot of things wrong about her. But it was more towards like the end of her run where they started changing things up. They got, like I said, they got another writer and then kind of just made things they just made decisions that didn't make sense, didn't work. See, 12:30, so we got about 30 minutes to go. Might be able to get a little bit of a head start on the thing around here, but short film featuring, yeah, maybe that'd be kind of fun. I wouldn't mind the actual backdoor run to actually be adapted to into an animated movie. Well, before like the New 52 stuff happened and the way things are now, but in a perfect world, that'd be cool. Which we don't really live in, so, and probably never will live in at this rate. So, yeah, no, I'll start using some neutral grays now. Not that one. Gotta be careful not to use too much grays because I need to save them for the ventriloquist stream because that's going to be a very heavy grays. Because for the ventriloquist one I'm working on, I will be doing kind of like a black and white sort of noir sort of look to it. So I feel like that's kind of a very, I feel like it would make sense for those two characters to go in that direction with that. I think it would create a really cool image. So, and it kind of fits the characters because they kind of lend themselves to that sort of style. Cameron Boyce would have been a great choice to play Impulse in the Flash TV series. Yeah, and they kind of did the race swappage again. So, as always, it's like, you know, it's starting to become a surprise whenever they don't race swap a character nowadays. It's just like, what the fuck? It's like, are there no black characters in the comics that you cannot use instead of just changing pre-established characters? It's like, apparently Black Lightning, Vixen, Jon Stewart aren't a thing to DC or Marvel, or whatever. But whatever. Yeah, I might have to go get some refills today. So I'll actually be near the place where I get it. So I'm just gonna stop by there before I go home from my family meeting. Should play Tim Drake, yeah. Oh, no problem, Grumpy. No problem. I'm almost done here anyways. Don't worry about it too much. Last thing you need is like a million people coming in. It's like, oh, guess what? You're all late. All right. Just trying to speed this along. I'll just leave the background for now. I'll work on it later. I just want to get a head start on the trim or whatever it's called around the arch type thing here. So. Is it 1 gray 3? I have not seen anything of the Titan series, dude. I have zero interest in that show. Like, not interested in seeing these low budget, half-assed costumes of all these characters, and my understanding, they didn't really get half of them right, anyways. Fucking hell. All right. Let's pull out some copper. Where did I put that? Where did I put you? There we go. So the background is going to be very, very basic background here. It's going to be, don't want to overly complicate it. I have a very simple look to it. Are you familiar with the Chinese actress Ming Na Wen? She seems familiar. Is that the person who played what's her name? Mulan in the Mulan live action movie? If so, maybe. I could kind of see that. Yeah, I'm like really bad with names, so you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, Lady Shiva's a badass. Like she ain't no joke. She could whoop any. Like, I always kind of hated that she got taken out so easily in the Arkham Origins game. Like obviously Batman could beat her, but like not early days, year 3 Batman. Like no, but Lady Shiva was like on the whole other level. Like at that point. Which is kind of my main problem with the game was that they were introducing like characters like Bane and like Deathstroke, who probably should have been able to beat Batman in his early years. Yeah, Bane could do I agree. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. She voiced Milan. Gotcha. I cannot remember. This is what I'm so trash. I just cannot remember actors' names and stuff. Well, if someone was to play Lady Shiva, they have to be a bit more colder, a bit more stoic and whatnot. So you kind of have a little bit of a dry sense of humor. It's that's basically her character, or kind of a bit of her personality. Ooh, 1237. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Split Chun-Li. Ellen Yin in the Batman. Okay. Split. Gotcha. Okay. Now is that a darker shade? Yeah. I actually liked the Batman. I mean, there's some problems I had with it, but it was pretty good. That was pretty good. Certainly better than most Batman shows nowadays. Yeah. Although, actually, you know what? I actually didn't mind Beware the Batman, even though I didn't really like the animation style and a lot of the story decisions. But in concept, I kind of liked what they were trying to do because I liked that they were actually using like more because they set out to utilize more of the obscure Batman villains, the more unknown characters like Professor Pig, Anarchy, uh, characters that most people aren't really familiar with. So I thought it was kind of interesting. Silver Monkey, Lady Shiva actually got a big role in that, which was kind of cool. And they used Katana a lot, which was kind of also really cool. We'd like to see her utilized a bit more as well, but obviously, the animation, some of the some of the execution could have been done better. But then they eventually ended up bringing in a lot of more familiar characters like Two Face, Killer Croc, Deathstroke, Man Bat, Ra's al Ghul ended up coming in at one point. And Metamorpho was actually in the series as well. I think he had a small role. And Simon Stagg and whatnot. Yeah. Not a small role, but you know what I mean. Actually, I think the gold would be good here. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I definitely liked the Green Lantern show. That was a really good series that had a lot of potential that just was not meant to be, I guess. Yeah, there were so many ways they could have taken that series because there was so much they haven't even touched upon in that series because they but I love the way they were setting some things up for the future. Like the Sinestro storyline could have been really fucking solid. I really like the way they were setting up that sort of dynamic between him and Tao. I really like a lot of the villains really good. Atrocitus was great. They got the Red Lanterns pretty. They got the Red Lanterns they got them right to an extent, but they also got some things wrong about them where they kind of made them a bit more militant than say they were in the comics. Like they were a bit more they kind of function more like the Sinestro Corps in that series. A little more where they're kind of trying to achieve like some sort of a supremacy over the universe and stuff, which wasn't really their goals, but because they were the Red Lanterns are kind of like they're like the Punisher. Like imagine an army of alien rage-fueled lanterns like the Punisher, who are like they operate like the Punisher. They go out and they go around and they like basically torture and murder criminals and people who do evil to others and stuff like that. It's kind of like how they operate. So, but in terms of how the rings work, they got that pretty much down. Aside from the fact that they kind of left out the idea that the Red Lanterns die when they remove their rings because the ring basically it kind of replaces their heart and their life force. So, although I think Atrocitus was able to survive for a significant amount of time, or no, I think that's because Dexter was shielding him. I think that was why he was able to survive without his ring when Guy Gardner removed it in a fight. So. But yeah, they did a lot of cool stuff for that show. They actually got to do Larfleeze for a little bit, which is really cool. He was a little bit underpowered though, but I kind of understand why they didn't do a whole lot with him. But because I feel like look, I don't know if this is how their thought process was, but I imagine they were like, we really want to do Larfleeze, but I think they were kind of realizing that they didn't have much time left to do the show, so they decided, let's just throw Larfleeze in at the end for like an episode or something like that, which it was cool. They got his character pretty much right. They just made him a little bit more underpowered because Larfleeze is extremely fucking powerful in the comics. Like he could take on the entire Green Lantern Corps by himself. Like he was like the Orange Lantern's that powerful. So, but yeah, I'd love an Orange Lantern movie or animated movie or something. The thing that I love about him most is that he's a really interesting character because he's someone who, he has all this power, but he's very neutral. He's a very neutral character. Like he usually just wants to be left alone and stuff. And he's kind of insane. He's kind of got like a sort of a Joker-esque sort of background or backstory where it's like he doesn't really know where he came from because he's so old and whatnot. Yeah, I guess Lady Shiva's kind of an anti-hero, anti-villain. She depends on the writer. Because he does have noble intentions. She has a bit more of a sense of justice than say Ra's al Ghul, because she did work for Ra's al Ghul for a time, but I think she left. She ended up leaving him because she didn't really feel like he was very honorable. And she does kind of have a soft spot for like the Bat family, because she trained Tim Drake for a while. Yeah, they got to do Saint Walker, which is really cool. Saint Walker's a really cool, really interesting character in the series. They didn't really do the full origin for his character. He had a bit more of a tragic backstory that they didn't really show, and how he and kind of how he got the Blue Lantern power battery and whatnot. But for the most part, they got his character right. Who's your favorite character? Oh, from the Green Lantern animated series? Ooh. You know what? I'm a big fan of Hal Jordan. He's my favorite Green Lantern. I really like the portrayal of that character, but I really fucking love Kilowog. He just cracked me up in that show. I liked Talia. I liked Atrocitus. Sinestro was great. They got Ron Perlman to do his voice. Razor was a good character. I like Ganthed. I like Saint Walker. I like all of them. I love all the Lantern characters. So just to pick one, it's just like, Guy Gardner was actually really fun. I love Guy Gardner when they brought him in the episodes. He's only in a couple episodes, but I think he's only in like 3. But it was really, he just cracked me up in that. Because I love that they played on the joke that everyone hates Guy Gardner. So in the series they made it so that everyone in the Corps like loves like Guy Gardner except for Hal Jordan. Like he's always having beef with Hal. Like I thought that was a really fucking hilarious thing. I always thought that was a really funny thing they did. Like all the Guardians who are all very stoic and whatnot, they're like, yeah, Guy Gardner's cool and shit. It's like he's always busting Hal's chops and stuff. I love it. Yeah, it makes me really wish that we got that to see like that show continue though. Like, I really want to see because they actually did tease Jon Stewart near the end of the series and stuff, and they could have gone in that direction. And there's a lot of Blanchard Corps that didn't really explore a lot. Like they didn't do the Sinestro Corps yet, although they were definitely teasing the Sinestro Corps a lot. You know, we didn't get to see the Indigo Lanterns. We didn't see any Blackest Night stuff like Black Lanterns or White Lanterns. Although there was a Easter egg for the Blackest Night in the one of the last episodes, where you could see like the Book of Black actually in like one. I think they're like in the library. The Guardians like, or no, it was in Scar's. I think the Guardians quarters there. So yeah, I really like Josh Keaton as Hal Jordan. I prefer Nathan Fillion, but Josh Keaton did a really, really good job. Yeah. Oh yeah, he'd definitely be a good Nightwing. You know. But yeah, I could talk for hours about Green Lantern. I really love that character in that world. So yeah, there's so much they could have done with the lore and stuff. They actually got to do the Anti-Matter for a little bit in that series as well, which was really cool. A little bit underpowered, but you know, he's a lot more powerful in the comics and stuff. But they made him a little bit less powerful, which I mean, I kind of get, you know, yeah, for a cartoon series, because you can't really show all of what they can do. And you know, I think we're gonna wrap it up right now. It's getting a little bit past my due time, so I'm going to end the stream right now, really quickly here. So, yeah, there's Talia, and I still need to touch up her face a little bit, like the eyes and the lips. So that's what I'll be doing when I come back home from the family get together. So, yeah, thanks for watching, Grumpy and Chris and whoever else was lurking in the chat. Yeah, I really enjoying this series. So next stream will be on Tuesday, and I will be here. Hold on, let's pull them out. Oh, and this is what I drew on. If you didn't catch it, I drew Harley Quinn on Top Nerdy to Us with Mara and Steph. So there's the Harley Quinn I did. Kind of keeping theme with my Batman Villains Month. So yeah, on the 21st, I will be doing Clayface, which will be on Tuesday. So, which I'll probably do, which I think it's scheduled for the morning around 12 p.m., but I will probably move that to like 2 or 3 o'clock. So yeah, I gotta get going now. So see you guys next draw stream, and yeah, and I might drop by Mara's stream on Tuesday during her Splitgate stream. So, but yeah, that'll do it for now. There's Talia looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So, no, thanks, Chris. Yeah. So yeah, let's find a clip to end us off on. We'll do this one. Right, later, guys.
Lord Megatron, the ship is under attack by the Autobots.
But the warship is cloaked. How is that possible?
The medic lives. Mobilize what remains of our forces. Still, Megalock must be defended at all costs. If Optimus Prime wishes to wage a battle for the fate of both Earth and Cybertron, then I shall oblige him. This will be our last stand.